As dawn begins to break, light finds its way between the boarded up windows, filtering into the room. Ismark and his sister are huddled by the fire, still asleep. You've had a series of watches overnight, which have been successful. There has been no intrusion. There has been no banging on the doors in some sort of B-grade horror movie effect. There has in fact been conversation and a rather average bottle of wine, perhaps two. The party find themselves being gently woken by each other. Ismark and Ireena still slumbering by the fire almost dead, a few embers, and the smell of that sooty, smoky sort of after fire effect permeating the living room of this great. After my flowery and emotional description of your awakening, yes, you can all do a long rest. Just to bring it back to some metagaming there, that's cool. 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 There's a yawn coming from near the fireplace. You see it's Ireena. She sets herself straight up, bolt upright, in fact. She takes in the room. She says nothing. She looks individually at you all, as if she's counting to see that you're all there. She nudges her brother, and she begins her morning ablutions. Not straight there, she disappears, like, you know. Ismark stirs after being nudged in the Now hang on, you're very confusing here, young lady. Nicole, you swapped your NDI source. What have you done? Right, okay. Yeah. Right. Interesting. I can't pick you up. How amazing. Anyway, we shall Oh, now hang on. Who are you at? What's your laptop thing? Emilicon. Yeah, you should be Emilicon. Yeah, Emilicon. Anyway, okay. I'll just turn you off for the moment. Yeah. So.
So, Benty, do you know what our mission at the moment is?
No, I have amnesia. It's like an episode of Dynasty.
Okay, so we met Ismark at the pub.
Yep.
And we're all on the way to the same place, which is the Valkyrie. And we're going to we're going to look after his sister, Ireena.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the lady that's just wandered off. So yeah, we've been staying at their house. We're going to look after Ireena, take her to Valkyrie, and if we do that, we all get 50 gold pieces each. But while we've been staying at their house, their dead father is also in the next room in some kind of coffin. And we think that another vampire has been coming to visit the house and bite Ireena. So we're trying to keep her safe. And that's why Nicole's character is checking to see if she's had bite wounds in the night.
I
We're trying to-
thought she had been bitten.
She had, and then we're worried that she might have been visited again.
Okay.
So while we were asleep, that's what.
Then the rest of my notes have got, we got to go bury the father.
Vampires are sexy. Just saying.
They are. I second that. Venti is loving it.
Does anyone else want to add anything to that, to our mission at the moment?
Ludacris is busily making coffee. He's ignoring Benty most of the rest.
Okay, yep, you go, Nicole.
So I think, well, there were planks outside on the windows. We checked them before we went to bed. We're hoping to go to Valakai. We tried to suggest we bury the father before we went to bed, but that's apparently was a tough idea for Ireena. Lord Stroud wants her to be his bride. So he's at is it Castle Ravencourt? That's where he is. So that.
Oh, the castle, yep.
Yeah. So we're with the son of the mayor, the was mayor. The mayor's the one who's just died. Stroud thinks that the daughter is the reincarnation of his beloved Tatina.
Okay, so after we bury the father, we drop off the sister to Valkyrie, then we're on our way to Lord Stroud's castle.
We're going to spend some time in the destination, though. It's a larger town than where we presently are.
Valakai? Because we need armor
Now, can I
and
just
weapons.
say, I must admit, I've made a terrible error here. After last week, I watched another video, and old mate was talking about Valaki. And then I'm like, he's got it wrong. And then I've read the book, and it actually spells it out as being pronounced Valaki. So Valakai doesn't exist. Valaki is the actual person.
Got it.
And
Got it.
Shame on you, Kelly, for being a Valaki when it should be Valak. Hang on.
I was just saying,
You just did it again.
This is the problem. It's Valaki. 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 Let's just get that straight. Okay, so back to you guys. Ireena has come back. She seems to have been refreshed, and she's brought herself and her brother in a pot of some sort of warm tea or coffee. You're uncertain as to which it is. They sit down, and they've still not said anything. She observes you going through your morning routine. She observes Ludacris returning from the kitchen himself with his coffee. Please continue. After my grammatical correction.
Ludacris hands a cup of coffee to Lord Benty, Emma Clon, Nix, and Lady Roach. Wordlessly. Doesn't even make eye contact and just sits back down again, sipping his coffee.
Thanks for the coffee.
Thank you.
Good job.
Fury Elemental says, how are you feeling this morning, Ireena? Can you tell me, do you feel any pain in your neck today? We were a bit concerned about your injuries.
Coyly, as you mentioned, she reacts positively and engages her gaze towards you as you speak to her. Then, as you mentioned her neck, her hand shoots up and she rubs it like this. And she pulls up part of her garment to cover. And she goes, I'm fine. I had an undisturbed sleep. I do not believe the devil has visited me again.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure, give me a roll. We love a good roll.
Here it comes. I just look a bit closer.
She seems to be telling the truth. And you notice she moves. You see no new bleeding, or you see the scars in her neck are essentially the same as they were the morning before. Or sorry, the evening before, when you first met.
Okay. So she feels great.
She goes, "Oh, I'm not sure if I feel great. That's probably a bit much, but she goes, I certainly do feel a little better, having had a good night's rest, and I thank you for all of ye being here and providing protection to me. I feel safe with you all. Now, my Father Donovan will soon be awake. Perhaps we should head and go to the church, bury my father in the morning light, so that the morning Lord may take him into his grasp and deliver his soul beyond this realm."
And shall we go from there to Valaki?
Valaki.
Lucky.
Isaac goes, not Isaac, Ismark, closely related to Isaac. Ismark goes, yes, my sister must be taken to Valaki. It's the only place that is safe. I believe that the Church of St. Andrew's will be her best and most appropriate sanctuary. For I believe it is there that Strahd cannot visit, for it is holy ground or some such. Sister, you must go with these brave... And he looks at you, looks back. You must go with these people to Valaki, and you must seek refuge with Father Lucian at the Church of St. Andrew.
St. Andrew.
Did you say Lucian? Okay.
Not Father Donovan?
Father Donovan is the he is our priest here in Barovia. Father Lucian is the master of the chapel of St. Andrew at Valaki.
Valaki.
Just out of game. Valaki sounds like something Bob should be saying.
Correct. I'm just going out of game because I need to eat this.
Where did he go?
It's a mystery.
Where did he go indeed? So
It looks like there's a fire in the fireplace.
yeah, I know, it's
very,
cool. I see that.
very nice.
Nice. Alright, let's go bury this dead father of yours.
Do we have the implements with which to dig the grave?
We're
Or
going
just using our
to
hands.
we're going to see Father Donovan, who will
That's
bury
right.
the father.
He'll have all the implements. Okay, we
Yep.
just look on. Good.
And we'll say goodbye to Ismark, so he's staying there.
Fare thee well, Ismark. Thank you for
Good
your
gosh, no! I shall come
hospitality.
and farewell my father. I do not understand.
Ah.
Oh, he's coming?
Yes, we should leave after breakfast.
Okay. We eat breakfast. Nix looks at Ludicrous to see if he's like still in the kitchen.
I'm sitting around you at the moment, still ignoring you.
I took the coffee. I'm drinking the coffee. I said thank you.
Yeah, my coffee's not in my system yet.
He's just waking up.
Oh,
His
okay.
personality. He's yeah.
I'm a ranger. I don't do anything before lunch.
No. I'll play us
I,
a song.
yeah, you can play a song. I'm going to
Ireena
go see if there's
excuses
a
herself
baby.
amongst your conversation. She goes and begins to prepare. As you may recall, you had strapped the coffin tight, bounded it with rope. She removes the ropes. She repositions the lid. She lifts it again and looks down, gazing upon her father. And she places something into the coffin, you see. She then closes the lid. and says, "When you are ready, we shall leave." And she sits and now kneels as in prayer next to the coffin. Her brother, Ismark, moves towards the coffin himself. He doesn't kneel, he places a hand upon it and he goes, "Father, I hope you are at rest. For these last few months you have been torridly tortured by these things of the night, brought by that devil." And he looks up towards where you expect that the towering feature of the Castle Ravenloft looms over Barovia.
Lady Rach want to know what went into the coffin.
Yeah. I was thinking of casting a spell to try and hypnotize them and make them not realize what was being checked. Can I do that? I've got spells.
You've got
Yeah, you tell me what
No,
spell you want
but
to do. You
I've
got,
got cast-
you got
no.
spells. You got like, you know what? It's only 4 minutes past long rest. Let's start using spell slots. That's what I like to see.
But I can cast known bard spells using CHA as my whatever modifier, and as a ritual, my musical instrument can be a spell casting focus.
Lady Rach sidles up to Lord Benty and is like, "Hey Benty,
So
you want to like secret lift something out of that coffin? I'll distract him."
okay, I'll do that.
And
Oh,
I'll play some
good
music to
old-fashioned
distract
Could
you.
I distract them? Because you're probably more deft than I am.
I have a sleight of hand of 1. I don't know what Rach has been doing.
Well, I've got a sleight of hand of 0, so
So I need a
Nathan?
performance check from Lord Benty. I need a stealth check from Lady Rach.
well, that was decided.
I need an insight check from
And Lord Benty, with the skill of a Shakespearean performer, he walks over to look at something on the table and trips, and things just go everywhere. And he makes a oh my leg, my beautiful leg. What? Can't be.
That can't be good.
Well, unless he's adding them up and then he adds ours up, in which case we win.
So Ireena
I'll never dance again.
Ireena is immediately rushing over to Lord Benton to help tidy the pieces. She goes, "No, this is Mother's. This must not break." And she begins to tie it. As Lady Rach quickly lifts the coffin up, she looks and peers in, and she sees a small yellow flower placed on the chest of Coylin, the previous burgomaster, their father.
Burgomaster, love it. Best job title.
Their best, there's a burgomaster right there. You can't see it, but it was delicious. Wasn't a burger, but it was a pork bow.
Oh,
Good
Yum.
choice.
Mm.
Nothing shiny in the coffin, just a flower.
Nothing that she recognised. The only new thing that Lady Rach sees from last time, yesterday evening, before the lid was placed upon the coffin, is a small yellow flower that's been placed on his chest.
Lady Rach is now disinterested and wanders off back to her coffee.
does she give me any indication?
Lucas, there's no need to bring your personal life into the game. It's okay.
Oh, shots fired. We also wear hats, but that's a different. Yeah, let's not discuss that. Lady Rach sidles over to Lord Benty and feigning to check whether he's okay, says that there was nothing of interest whispered into Lord Benty's ear.
Okay, fuck. What a waste of my time and talent.
That was some fantastic knocking over talent. I might
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Ismark goes. Ismark
Games
begins to
involve-
unbolt the front door, and he brings it back, and there is a dim light that gleams into the doorway.
I thought it was daytime.
It is. Looking
This
out.
place is relatively overcast, I think.
Yes, a constant overcast, perhaps, you might find. So Fury, looking out the door, begins to realise that it is yet another grey day. I'm sure there's a song about that, and you'll come up with it quickly, but there we go. It's a grey day in Peruvian.
Yeah. If only I had a torch, but luckily we have Lord Benton and the brightness of his visage.
Said no one ever.
He will illuminate the way. Lord Benton proceed ahead of us, so we will combined.
I still have my
Yay!
drift globe.
Alright, I'm going to summon 4 torch-sized lights.
I've got a drift globe.
What's that?
Ludicrous looks up from his
It's a
coffee and
hovering
is checking for a
ball.
cat that's being assaulted.
We're trying to find a replacement cat. Oh, I see what you did there. That was a big whoosh on this part.
Bit of a whoosh.
I got it. I'm working out. I'm working on my music, but I am
Like it.
a wandering bard because obviously I need to improve it. No one's decided to pay me and keep me in their village. There's a reason for that. I'll work on it as I go.
I like it.
But thank you, Lord Benton, for lighting the way.
You're welcome. I'm always here for the good of all.
And you have this cool orb, right? Is that
Yes.
right, Nix?
Yeah, it's a drift globe that hovers above us and shines light. So
Hang on, have you got your drift globe
Daily
out? I might have
talks.
missed that. I was having a quick discussion about Feng Shui and the fact that I had fire on. Anyway, it didn't go well. My fire's off. But,
yeah, my drift globe is always on.
well, hang on. Last time it was in your left-hand pocket.
It was in your left-hand pocket.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I do have it turned off. Okay, can I turn it on now? I shall turn it on.
So you're turning it on inside the house?
There you go. Yep, and it's just going to hover above us. It'll follow me.
Ismark turns, he goes, "What magic is this?"
Ah, it's nothing. It's just my little drift globe.
It's very bright. I don't think that is a good idea. And he starts to try and reach up towards it. Put it away, put it away.
Why? Why don't you like the light?
It will, it's not me. It will, this is not good. Put it
We
away.
need light to see.
You
through
can
the
see it
dim.
is daylight. You can see, there's certainly, it's not dark, it's just grey. It's just an overcast greyness.
Are you afraid of something seeing us?
There are only some things that should be seen, like Ben's
Cool background.
cool boxer shorts. Should only be seen at certain times.
Are you not wearing pants?
He's not wearing pants. There were boxer shorts. There were boxer shorts, much like the drift globe. Let's not even get into any kind of comparison between Ben and his boxer shorts and drift globes. But
There is no comparison. Thank
there
you
is
very
no
much.
comparison.
The dancing lights are in my pants. I'm in my pajamas. Leave it at me. Fucking pervert.
So we don't need to see
luxury.
Ben's.
Jim Jams.
You should be so lucky. I normally charge an absolute fortune for that kind of display.
Oh, he's not even paying attention.
Nah. He starts trouble and then he walks away from it.
He's talking about feng shui.
Oh no,
Cecil.
Rachel's just delivered even more food. This is amazing.
What? She's making the.
Oh no, it's Uber Eats. Don't be silly. Yeah.
Ah, I was impressed.
Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, she is a very good cook, but it's 8 o'clock.
She
and,
is.
Yeah, we were
So,
over at the neighbours
just to be
having wine.
clear,
Yeah.
Rachel works for Uber Eats and is delivering you food.
This is somewhat correct.
It's hard
Rach-
times.
I
Hard
would say
times.
that
People have
Rachel's a
taken on
major
different roles.
investor in Uber Eats, only from a retail point of view.
Yeah. I went to check if we've got a local Saint Bar. Yum. The other day, it's so good.
Ismark, the door open, he says, and he quickly shuts the door and begins this conversation around your drift globe. And he says, look, put that away. That will only draw his attention. You have no idea.
Who's?
Strahd!
Who's?
He looks left and looks right.
Well, we're pretty much going to Strahd's house now, aren't we? The
We're going to
castle.
the we're going to the graveyard.
So after we go, we're going to the church to bury the dad. Then we're going to Valaki to go shopping and get stuff and drop off Ireena. And then we're going to Strahd's house anyway.
I counsel against this. Strahd is more powerful than perhaps you consider. He is this land. He is the very land itself. He knows all.
I'll
His
turn it
spies
off.
are everywhere.
And I'll put it back in my right hand pocket.
Right hand pocket.
Cool.
Mix that shit up, Kels. So, Ismark thanks you very much for putting that away, because he does not. He says, this is an important moment for my sister and I. Our father is deceased and we are going to try and put him to rest. We do not need Strahd or his minions interfering with us, drawn like moths to the light.
Right.
Okay.
Alright. No light.
So, how do you execute the move to the church, which is to the northeast?
Are we putting the coffin on a cart or something that we can push along?
So we can have our hands free for defense if needed.
Was there a cart
Ludicrous has
anywhere?
cap
Where
in his
was the
hidden
cart?
system, and he pushes back from his chair, stands up, and decrees, "I will be a pallbearer." And then looks at Lord Benty.
We used to have a floating
Ismark steps
disc.
forward and says, "Thank you," and stands next to you at the head of the coffin. As if
Lord
ready.
Benty is recovering from his injury.
Well, I'm not a great fighter, so it's okay for me to help. I'll help as well, but I think someone who's a good fighter should be on the ready, not holding the coffin.
And Will's character's still with us.
Good. Okay, so you're going to fight, you're going to defend us, are you, Nix? Fury Elemental will take the rear right position.
And Lady Rach flanks off against Fury,
Okay.
glaring at Lord Benty.
And Lord Benty, we're relying on you, Lord Benty, for defense, and Nix.
You can
and
rely on me.
Will,
Very reliable.
be on your guard.
So who's got the coffin?
So I've got Ludicrous, Ismark,
Fury,
and
Lady Rach.
Lady Rage. And then there's 2 spots at the end.
Don't you do it with 4?
You can do it with 4, sure.
Do it with 4. Then we have 3 fighters, plus also...
Ireena takes the lead and she goes...
Ireena's a good fighter, right?
Yeah, Ireena takes the lead. And she begins to move you all.
Nice.
I just need a refill
Of coffee. Got your flask?
of coffee. Yes, my flagon.
I just remembered I've forgotten to use my cool tankard.
I'm here. I'm just standing by my heater.
And you find yourselves now looking towards the church. In the gloomy morning light,
Ooh.
you can see that there is already light coming from within. As you approach now, you find yourselves at the church door. Well, in the churchyard, I should say. So you guys are down the bottom of the map. Ireena,
Ringo, that's his name.
Ireena goes up and begins to move inside into the church area.
Did she leave the coffin out front?
So basically, the church, no, you guys are carrying it behind. So as you come up this slight rise, you can see that against the roots of the pillar of stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church was obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back and flickering light shines through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. As you pass towards the entry doors, you see that whilst they are open, they are covered in claw marks and are also scarred by fire. You can see in front of you is a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the floor. Father! Father, feed me! I am hungry!
Jesus Christ.
Nope, he left this place a long time ago.
Lord Benton, I won't position you. Phoenix. His mark is up the front with Lord Benty. Fury is up there as well.
Ireena, do you know of to whom they speak? Who is that who
Speaketh so.
is hungry? Who speaketh so? Who is hungry?
Am I the only one?
Duncan, can't hear you. Your headphone might have come out of its jack.
Thank you.
No problem.
Father Donovich stops from his prayers as the scream echoes up from beneath the church. He turns and he looks and he sees, shocked, and he suddenly sees Ireena leading the procession in. He runs, he doesn't run because he's a rather large guy. He comes towards Ireena, and you make him out as a sort of noble-ish figure, fairly well kept. And as he approaches, he goes, Ireena, Ismark, you are here at last with your father, I see. We shall go to the graveyard immediately, shall we? And make preparations? Please, head out to the back. And he seems quite keen to push you out of the church.
Father, we are new visitors to this town, and it disturbs us to hear such unhappiness from beneath the chapel. Can we be of assistance? We're very happy to help, but tell us what's been happening.
My son is he's had some sickness. He left some days ago, and he's not well. He's not well.
Is he safely in his room?
He is safe, but
Father.
I do not know what to do for him, but I pray every day. I pray all the time. He is he left with some friends to take some action against the Lord, the Dark Lord, but since his return, I don't know what to do with him. I pray for his healing. He is tormented by that evil thing. Suddenly,
Can I look around the room and just do an investigation? Just
yeah,
having a look?
sure. As you can see, you're just in this hallway. There are 4 doors.
I just walk. Okay.
Yeah,
You're in a building. It's a thing.
that's right. There are 4 doors.
You're in a hallway with doors.
I'd be happy to go and bury the one potential vampire, while we don't deal with the son of the vampire beneath. I whisper to my companions, "Shall we adjourn to the graveyard?"
Good idea.
Yeah, let's just deal with one. Unless anyone else is feeling feisty and up for a rumble.
I'm happy to go bury the first corpse.
I don't think there'd be anything to be gained from breaking it to the delusional father that his son has been turned into a vampire, would there?
I can smell your blood! A scream echoes up from beneath. Father, I can smell them! Feed me!
Good.
I'm
Father
a
Donovan
lover, not a
is
fighter.
even more hurried. He's sort of now almost physically pushing Ireena back out to go to the rear of the church, to the graveyard.
Cool, let's get out of here.
Fury whispers to Ismark, do vampires here, can they be out in the daylight, or will they be destroyed by the sun? Is that what happens to those who are bitten by Lord Strahd's people?
Ismark sort of slumps his shoulder and he turns and he goes, that was fantastic. Whatever happened there, that audio, did everyone hear that? It's like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like BB-8.
Do.
BB-8
Yeah,
turns. BB-8 turns towards towards you, and goes. He goes, alas, there has been no sunlight here. Only the shadows exist. Strahd and his minions have dominion over this land, day or night.
And with the light from Nyx's orb cast a light sufficient to keep them at bay?
I suspect that that bright light, it hurts my eyes, for I've been born and accustomed to this dimness. I suspect it'll be like a shining bright light that the moth will attack and surely seek to extinguish. While you have my sister, do not reveal that, for it will bring danger to her. Let's go bury my father. Father Donovich, are you prepared? Yes, I am, my son. Let us go. And he seems, let us go now. And he seems quite keen to get everyone out of the church.
Just before we go, can we secure the door at least? I mean, I don't know if there's other doors, but
Yeah, lock the door on the way out.
a door on the way out.
Who's doing that?
I don't know what would be the skill required. I have really good investigation, but I don't know. I mean, I want to make sure that I'm strong enough.
There's probably not a great amount of skill required just to pull it shut.
Sure.
Like glass doors.
Let's shut the door then.
Yeah. Okay, so he takes you round to the rear, and it's a still and peaceful place. A fence of wrought iron with a rusty gate encloses a rectangular plot of land behind the dilapidated church. Tightly packed gravestones shrouded by fog bear the names of souls long past, and all seems quiet. Father Donovich has suddenly appeared with a shovel, and you can see that there is already a freshly dug grave. that he's directing you towards. It seems to be about 4.5 feet deep. And Father Donovich indicates that you should now lower the coffin into the grave.
Cool. We can take the coffin over to the.
Let's lower it into the grave.
Yep.
Here we go.
O morning lord, we beseech ye, take mercy on the soul of our former burgomaster, Koilen Indovich.
See that his family and kin, Ireena and Ismark, are well protected from the evils of this land, and may your soul perhaps find peace, if not redemption, when it is reborn to this horrid and dark place. He sprinkles some powder and he throws in a flower, and he hands the shovel to Ismark.
What colour is the flower?
Ooh.
Give me an investigation check.
I
Sorry,
just
perception.
have-
Let's do perception. Sorry. Perception.
Okay. Having a look at that. Oh yeah, 22.
It's a bleached white flower.
Bleached white. Do I see any of these other bleached white flowers around the graveyard? Are they like growing around? Are they a local
You see,
flower?
no, you see only sort of dark green vines. Nothing of colour in the immediate vicinity.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to do a song which I think will boost the spells. So if we get attacked, okay. Fare thee well, Colin Endovich. You've shuffled off this mortal coil, Colin Endovich. It is the end of which we are sad to bid thee fare thee well, Colin Endovich. The end.
Oh, nice. I just bow my head.
Ismark shovels the first load of dirt.
That gives you
onto the
extra
coffin.
powers as well, by the way, everyone, if we have something we have to fight. So
Nice.
there's practical benefit to that.
Ireena takes a shovel and shovels another dirt, like shovel load of dirt onto her father's coffin. Hands it back to Ismark and he shovels some more. Hands it back to Ireena, she shovels some more. And she hands it to you, Ludicrous.
With a somber bowed head, shovel some more. Wordlessly,
Shortly
not drunkenly.
after a little bunch of shoveling, the coffin is covered. Ismark turns to Father Donovich and says, "Thank you, Father. I wish you well and I wish you peace. We shall now depart." Ismark turns back and he goes, "Ireena, let's return to home, grab your things, and head before lunchtime so that you can perhaps make to the Tser pool and the Vistani, or perhaps beyond them. I am unsure. Protect her." He turns to you all. "I must now head into town and begin to announce the change that will become of Barovia as I become its burgomaster. I must speak first with Bilderath, and then those Vistani in the tavern. I wish you well. You have my gold. I cannot but offer you anything else." I noticed that Lord Benton, you did not realise that you already had the gold that It caught a glint in your eye. I wish you well with your colleagues. Thank you so far for your assistance to lay my father at rest as much as he may get. And with that, Ismark turns and begins to depart the church.
I'm sorry, I still think there's a vampire in that cellar.
There is.
Should we not do something about that?
Run away, bravely run away.
Well, I mean, we could just burn down the church.
That seems a bit sad.
Well, there's a vampire in there, and the priest is obviously fucking insane.
It's his son. I don't know what we're going to gain.
So we've only just arrived in a town, sent on a quest. We're going to burn down their church.
No, it was us. It's the greater good. You are all just too weak to do what must be done.
I think we have to focus on the war, not the battle.
Yeah, look, Ludicrous has no idea, but he's suddenly compelled to smack Lord Benton in the back of the head.
That's just disrespect.
Boys, play nice.
So I've given you bardic inspiration for 10 minutes. So you've got anyone who heard that song, that lovely eulogy song, has bardic inspiration. So if we were to do any action, we have that, which is very exciting.
I still vote we burn down the church.
Or
I
if
think
anyone
that would
has some
distract.
silver weapons.
Don't we have that? Doesn't she have a dagger? So Ireena has a dagger. I thought it was wooden stakes. I don't understand what silver weapons do. Wasn't it garlic and wooden stakes?
It was all the classic things that kill vampires.
So silver weapons is considered, it overcomes resistance to certain types of damage, I think.
I beseech you while you discuss your tactics here against our evil overlord. Says Donovich, who actually hasn't left, is still standing with you with the shovel.
Did he hear Lord Benton talk about burning down his church?
Yeah, he did. Because it was
He
Ismark.
has been eating pies. He's been eating the
It's-
pies in the
it's
shop.
Ismark who's
Don't
left.
worry about what he says.
I just want to be clear, it was Ismark who then had the little speech and left, and Father Donovich was standing there with the shovel after burying everybody. He goes, it is clear that Burgomaster Ismark has asked you and remunerated you to take his sister to safety. He looks to Ireena, who is still at the graveside now, weeping for her father. Not necessarily within earshot, but you cannot be certain of that. You must take her to the Abbey of St. Markovia. We'll be a bit flexible on that pronunciation at the moment. But to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Krezik. For there she will be safe.
But her brother wants us to take her to
Palaki.
Palaki, to where
you
St. Lucian,
sound
the
like-
Lucian the devil is.
You sound as if you almost live here pronouncing it Valaki. For this is the true way. Yes, Valaki would be good. Failing taking her to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Krezik, then yes, you should take her to Valaki and seek the church there. My fellow brother Lucian is the priest of the Church of St. Andrew. It is protected, and you will find sanctuary there from the evils of this land. For hundreds of years it has not been desecrated. Valaki itself has not been visited by Strahd for over 100 years. Whatever it is that they are doing there to afford them for his protection against him, we could only ever hope and dream that such protection could come to the village of Barovia. And he turns and he looks directly up. Looming above you all is the castle Ravenloft. Suddenly it seems as if it lurches towards you, but you realise it's just vertigo.
Distance from where we currently are to the castle.
1,000 feet vertically up a sheer cliff.
1,000 feet, you say?
Okay, it's 1,072, but that's there. Then it obviously extends above that.
I was happy with 1,000, Dunk. Is
Well,
that
it's 1,007.
1,000 feet to the very top of the uppermost spire, or to the base of the castle?
1,072 to the base of the castle. It towers another couple of 100 feet above that, you guess. But it's hard to see from this angle.
Can I travel 70 feet? Well, according to my trigonometry, it'd have to be about 100 feet to the base, which would get me closer.
Yes, but it just gets you less perspective.
That's okay. Is it within 1,000 feet?
The base is within 1,000 feet. Yes.
Okay. So the book that we took from Sife, that that Nix had.
Yes.
I noted this book, did I not?
You definitely wanted the book.
Yep.
You do remember it was taken upon your arrival on the seashore.
Indeed, it was taken. So I cast Locate Object. Do I feel the presence of the object? Stop glaring at me, Dunk.
Indeed, you do.
Interesting.
You feel its
Ooh.
presence at the extent of your range.
Now, isn't that fascinating, team?
Wow.
Ludicrous whispers this to Nix, that the book that she once lost, that she was fascinated with, is very nearby.
And I whisper back to Ludicrous, maybe the rest of our stuff is here too.
Perhaps.
Does that still change our obligation, however, to get Ireena to safety and then come back?
Well, it does tell us a little bit about the person who visited us.
Yes.
Not much more.
No.
So.
It gives us a reason to kill the vampire in the cellar.
It gives us a reason. Oh.
Not really. Whoa. Benty, you're just murderers. Jesus.
You are.
Okay.
That's enough of that. So, mysteriously, Ludicrous seems to be, instead of swilling coffee, is now a flask. Please tell me you saved me at least one flask, Duncan. I haven't checked lately. No, you haven't.
No, there's no flask.
Surreptitiously, there just seems to be a bottle of wine that Ludicrous has managed to pilfer.
Oh wow, what's happened there? Are you sharing?
What has
your
happened
desktop?
Oh.
Did you hit share screen?
Sorry, was that me?
Yeah, that was you, but that's okay.
Sorry, stop.
I'm confused. What is that?
I don't know, what was it? It's probably some writing or something.
That's
I don't
probably lucky it was only that and not something else you were Googling.
know. My life is not very exciting stuff, so it's probably writing stuff. Sorry, I didn't know what I was like. Anyway.
Ludicrous declares, we should travel onwards that rough way quest.
Thing.
Let's go.
All right. On to Balaki, where we can buy some weapons.
So,
What do we think of the priest, the Father Donovan's idea, though?
What did you want to do?
What was the negative of going to Abbey? I missed that. Sorry, because I was saying goodbye to there was Abbey in St Markovia in Creswick. Do we definitely still want to go to Valaki and leave her at that church, or do we want to go to the Abbey of St Markovia in Creswick?
Yeah, I didn't really get the reason why he wanted us to go to his other mate. I like the idea of going to Valaki because that's where all the silver weapons
The
are.
weapon, yeah, same.
And drop off Ireena and get our cash.
Yeah, well, we've already got our cash. They're paid up front.
Did we all add that into our purses?
Fitty.
Dunk is laughing.
I just love the focus on the monetary.
I would have thought
Kills
Venti would be
kills
all
us though,
over it.
like we're here to get gold, get magic items, and
Kill
kill for
people.
shit and kill people. Like, let's go kill the vampire, and sure, we're already level 5, and what could possibly go wrong with that? Okay, let's go. I don't know.
Yeah, lots of level 5s have killed Strahd. I'm sure of
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
a TPK.
Dunk, have you ever done a TPK?
I have never done a TPK yet, but it seems likely.
No.
So let's go to the Abbey. Let's drop our cargo off, and I'm going to keep calling it cargo. And let's go from there.
Let's do it.
Ireena returns. She is composing herself. She has a quiet word with Father Donovich. Father Donovich now leaves, and you're all at the church alone. Ireena turns to you and says, "Let's return. I shall grab my things, and we shall head to Valaki. We need to leave here by midday."
Cool.
Yeah, good plan.
Sounds good, lady.
Any locations for rations? Benty's already good for pies.
So, Lord
I grabbed
Benton,
a spare one.
upon that comment, you feel quite inclined to have another pie. You're certain that someone has one upon their person in the party.
Oh yeah,
Oh, fuck,
Fury.
did you sell me some addictive ass pies?
Fury kept one.
I've kept them for evil people we may encounter. They're not for you, Lord Benton. And though I be a bard, I also can defend all pies.
So am I beating up someone to take a pie?
You're pretty keen to have a pie. You're not beating
Who
anyone
has a
up
pie?
yet, but you're pretty keen to have a
Resist
pie.
Benty.
Maybe just a nibble. What could be wrong with a nibble?
Who has a pie? Who
It's all good. You
has a
tripped
pie?
out last time. Fury's got one.
Who has
Did
a pie?
I have them, but you're not getting one, Lord Benton. It's for your health. I've been noticing you're not looking as trim as you were when I first met you.
Oh.
Have a charisma saving throw, please, Lord Benton.
Have a fucking the audacity.
I'm very charming. I said it charmingly. So, that's one of my skills.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 15.
Nice.
You escape 1 hit points of sort of
Psychic damage.
ego damage.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I want a pie.
Ireena starts to lead you back towards the burgomaster's home. His markers headed into the town, and Ireena leads you back down the now well-worn street that takes you to her home. The burgomaster's mansion looks stark against the backdrop of the grey that is now in the mountains and the hills behind the town of Barovia to the south. She quickly gathers her things, a simple backpack and a sword strapped to her waist. Confidently, she turns and shuts the door. She sighs and turns towards you and says, "Let's make our way to Valaki." Leading you down into the centre of the town again. The Vistani Inn, where you first met, is marked. She heads west and out of the town. Right, okay, let me get lighting, because it appears to be all dark, yeah?
Mm.
Is that, no? Okay.
I'll be back shortly.
Just give me a sec. There we go. Boom. Oh, look, you can see everything. That's fantastic. That's not quite what we want. Let me just fix that for you.
Oh, I saw Castle Ravenloft.
Right.
Oh, it's too late. I've already seen it. Already screenshotted it. It's just like playing with Benty. Oh,
During all of this, Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
Ludicrous would like to sidle up to Lord Benty, unsheath his sword menacingly, but then presented to Lord Benty and say, Lord Benty, tell me of this. We acquired it while we were at the island, slaying Seafae. This came from the Castellian. I know not its particulars, only know that it is a mighty sword.
can I do a history check and see if I notice anything about the sword?
Sure can.
The anticipation. I got a 17.
You don't know anything particular about the sword itself, although you recognise some of the engravings and some of the markings upon it. It certainly does seem as if it is a sword of some power.
Is it a magic sword?
It certainly seems that it has some arcane abilities. It's perfectly balanced. It has a golden hilt seamlessly bonding the handle, bound in what feels to be leather, but has the strength of steel.
Ooh. Alright, I relay all of that and I go, I reckon this thing could cut some vampires up pretty bad. I know where we could test that theory and potentially two birds, one stone.
Now, can I just confirm this is the sword that originally Lady Rach had, and you took it off her? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Castellian sword.
And
So as
Lord
you
Benton, I think-
guys are walking away from Barovia and Lord Benton is looking at it, you suddenly as you're like leaving the town, you detected its arcaneness, but now suddenly it seems to take your gaze, Lord Benton. It shines like a piece of the night sky filled with stars. The black scabbard is now decorated with pieces of cut obsidian. You feel that there is some sort of hunger within the sword, and it makes you have a shiver down your spine, and you are inclined to hand it back to Ludicrous.
I give it back and I go, that sword's nasty. There's something wrong with that sword. I think there's a demon in there.
You don't know if you felt it. There's a hunger in there. There's an emptiness that needs to be fulfilled. That's what you feel.
I mean, I can empathize. But I don't trust that sword. I reckon that sword's gonna, like, eat ya.
Ludicrous glares at Lord Benty and says, "The most out of all your gyrating, all your posturing. You say that this sword can eat me?"
Yeah.
Sheaths his sword and walks on ahead.
Well, look, when you get ate by a sword, don't come crying to me 'cause she ain't got no legs. 'Cause the sword ate them. The audacity. I tell you what.
So,
This is what happens when you
Ludicrous,
travel loaf.
you can make that sword at this stage a +1 sword.
At this stage.
Long sword, I'm assuming.
I beg your pardon?
A long sword, I'm assuming.
It's a long sword +1 at this stage.
Oh.
I shall, as you use it, when you next use it, can you just remind me that it's the Castellian sword, please?
Now,
Thank you.
Don't remind him.
Yeah, don't remind me. What could possibly go wrong with reminding him about that?
Just remind me you've got a possessed sword.
Lady Rach sidles up to Lord Benty and gives him a little nudge and goes, "Anything we can steal?"
From
where?
Anyone.
Probably. Do you want me to do the old fully looty?
Do you think that will work twice?
One way to find out. Or I tell you what, I've got a good one. All right, you get ready to loot. All right. I give him the old wink. Give her the old wink. Huh?
As you're talking, Ireena is at the front, walking by herself. The rest of you, obviously, Ludicrous and Lord Benton having a conversation. The remainder of you spread amongst Ringo, just walking kind of weirdly right behind Ireena. You start to come around a corner, and ahead of you is an arching stone bridge spanning a river. As you look down, the river seems to be almost 50 foot wide. It's clear and flowing fast. The bridge ahead of you continues to the southwest. Do you continue?
Well, we don't want to go back to the burger town, so we might as well.
Burger Town.
Crossing
Can
the
Can I
bridge,
do an investigation?
you move.
Oh no! Well,
just
before
crossed
we
it.
go over the bridge, can I?
Well, no, you're over the bridge already. I've just moved you. That was the time. The time for the before the over the bridge thing. That was like when I said, "What do you want to do?"
I love it.
before you go
What
over
are you doing? And then as we're discussing what to do, he's like, "So you've crossed the bridge. You're basically in Sicily at this point." Oh, I had a whole plot.
Okay, so well, okay. Let's hear your plot. What are you doing with the?
All right, so I'm gonna cast very subtly. Do I have that?
Subtlety? No, you don't, Ben. Just thought I'd let you know, just from a casual observation.
None of that.
Your minus,
all right.
your subtlety -1.
All right. Well, I'm going to cast minor illusion to make a deafening scream come out from underneath the bridge. And as I do it, I kind of give Rach the old nudge and go,
No.
You want to steal things?
The scream echoes from underneath the bridge.
Was that a velociraptor?
Ireena draws her sword.
I didn't realize I summoned a dinosaur.
Ireena draws her sword and swings towards and pushes Ringo aside and runs back towards the bridge. Standing on guard with both hands on the sword. She
What
looks
is that?
left, she looks right. She goes, "Hurry, we must go past here." And she looks up.
Lady Rach sprints to her side, seemingly to aid. Hand slunk around the waist, feeling for any pockets or anything that may have any value.
The sky darkens. and a roll of thunder echoes from the northwest.
Did you do that too?
I was like, I'm good. I surprised myself with that one.
Nice.
Yeah, you're
Did
welcome.
Lady Rach find anything?
Mm-hmm. What would you like to eat?
Are you asking me something?
Yeah. So I'm fondling. Well, hang on.
We can see Rach in the background
I'm
there.
fondling pockets.
She comes in and out of the image, so be careful of what you're saying.
Lady Rach is fondling pockets.
Right, whose pocket is she fondling?
Ireena's.
Ireena, our ward.
Oh, we love that. Give me a stealth check. Okay. As the storm begins to roll in from the northwest, Ireena sheaths her sword and turns, bumps into Lady Rach. Lady Rach feels her pockets. What is she looking for?
What are you looking for in Ireena's pocket? You'll need to be more specific than anything. A coin purse or anything silvered.
She finds nothing silvered, but she does happen upon something that feels like it has coin or perhaps a small gems, something in her left-hand pocket. Does Lady Rach wish to try and remove that?
Lady Rach is nodding emphatically.
Give me a sleight of hand check. She removes it, pockets it herself. The encounter complete. Ireena, having sheathed her sword, moves back to next to Ringo. She looks up and she says, "Rain is coming. We should hurry."
Ludicrous declares, "Onwards! Enough of this," and glares at Lord Benty.
Right. As you continue along, you can see now that the river meets you again. And continues on to the... You see that it's almost continues on to the northwest and seems to open out into a rather large lake or pool. Perhaps this is the Tser pool that the Vistani spoke about. The road itself continues on, and it's not long, for it is near mid-afternoon, and ahead of you, you see an old wooden gallows begins to creak in the chill wind that's blowing as the storm front approaches.
What do we know?
A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here. Sorry, wait. That was not... That was...
We're being followed by a raptor.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm drawing, I'm not...
What do we note beside the river? Beside the beside the lake?
Yeah,
You've moved on from the lake. You've continued on. As I said, the lake previously along the road, the river continued northwest and opened up into a pool or some sort of lake. You've continued on around, and now you're confronted by an old wooden gallows creaking in the chill wind ahead of the storm front. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia village to the east, from where you have come. Tser Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft, Valaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, perhaps towards that pool that you saw before, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. From the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves, shrouded in a low, misty fog.
So, Ravenloft, or what sounds like
Ravenloft and Valaki to that way, the Tser Pool down to the bottom.
So, Ravenloft, Valaki, which is further away, versus Tser Pool, which sounds like it's closer.
What do we want at Sample?
Well, I don't know if I want to fuck about with the Vampire Lord at this point in time, when we don't even know what's going
I
on.
also don't want to hang out here because this is where there are graves, which is like maybe.
So we're all in agreement. Long rest. Then we'll decide what to do tomorrow. After we eat some pies. No, I gotta get my fix. Get the drawers over here. Getting sweat. It's like a cold sweat.
What's at Tser Pool?
Do we know?
Remember the Vistani? Mentioned that
Oh, but
perhaps
she's-
Madame Eva.
Oh, she sounds cool. I vote Vistani's. Or the Vestinies, or the Vicestinies, however Duncan wants to.
Is that the fortune teller lady, Miss Eva?
Yes. What do you remember of that? Perhaps share with your party.
She was quite keen to meet us, I believe.
She wanted to tell our fortune.
You friends.
She also drugged Lord Benton, so I don't know that we want to rely on her.
She what?
That's what the pies were, Lord Benton. You be tripping, and now you be addicted.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you can't afford to have an addiction, but some of us are high rollers.
I got all the pies. I have all the pies.
All the pies, the power.
I got the
A
power.
dance for me, Benton.
Yes, dance for me.
I vote we go to Madame Eva. She's got good taste.
What is the downside of just continuing on the road? I mean,
Ireena
Are
says
we-
it is. Perhaps the Vistani will take us in for the evening. For it'll be darks in a couple of hours. Valaki is almost 2 days' travel from Barovia.
all right. Well, let's go to the Vistani. Strange folk who travel in and out of the mist. Be careful. So
They travel in and out of the mist so they can leave. They might show us the way home.
they can give us their tips, maybe. They're apparently strange people, strange folk.
Oh, I love these folk.
That's so weird. I can hear the same plane going over your
Oh,
house.
that's crazy. Where are you?
Toowong.
I'm West End, right? So we're across the river.
Hey,
That's crazy.
flight path buddies.
Yay! In a city
The things you have in
dream.
common.
Yeah.
So you have a decision. Do you move to the northwest or the southwest? What is it you guys do?
We're going
So
to go.
southwest is at least 2 days' travel, correct?
So
Well, one of them.
Ireena says that Valaki, many people do stop at the Tser Pool encampment. The Vistani are very welcoming. You'll find many travellers there, but also many do continue on through and make their way to Valaki. It is a common thing. Whether we go to the Tser Pool and see this fortune teller of yours or not, it troubles me not. I have left Barovia and I feel much safer amongst you all now.
How long to Valaki?
Valaki is 2 days. We must seek shelter at least one night. Best to be amongst other people.
Ireena,
Emphasis
what
being
is the
on
range?
people.
Ireena, what is the range of Lord Stroud's beings? What can they travel beyond the river?
I do not know. Lord Strahd has dominion over all this land. That's all I know.
So do we have to go back over the river to actually get to Vistani?
I believe that yes, we must cross the river again. Or not to the Vistani, no, but to Valaki, yes. Valaki is on the shores of Lake Zarovich.
Right. And where the Vistani are? Where is that? That's just
They are
north
at the
again.
Tser pool, which is some miles to the northwest.
And not over the river, though.
I do not believe so, for I have not visited the Vistani. I have heard of them only.
I think it would be more sensible to go to the Vistani.
And stay the night and have our fortunes read.
And
Right,
have
okay.
Lord Benton be cast in thrall by the Eve. Miss Eva.
I'm down.
If we're going, we're all having our fortunes told.
Just no pie, though. Thanks. None of that pie.
I don't want the pie. I do want my fortune told, though. And we do need to seek shelter.
Yes. Is everyone agreed? Is everyone in agreement?
Yes,
Great.
we go northwest, Dunk.
Okay. So, as you travel on down the road, it takes a enchanting yet somewhat winding path through the forest. And before you, as you come out of the forest itself, you see an encampment of some wonder as the afternoon light is slowly dimming away. You see afore you, on the shore of this lake, a large bonfire, several wagons and tents established around it. You can hear the jovial jocularity of song and story and drunken banter emanating from this encampment. A stark difference to the dull and grey tones of Barovia itself. So, what would you like to do? Do you wish to approach?
Could be time for a song.
Oh yes. Let us. Let me fortify you all. Onwards, onwards, upwards.
The road
upwards.
gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth. No, keep playing. That was good. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons.
I thought we'd slowly approach as Fury plays a song.
The canopy
gives
of
you
mist
extra
and
boost.
branches suddenly gives way to black clouds balling far above. There is a clearing here next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colourful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-toppled wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the bard's guitar, and the singing of several brightly clad figures around the bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
I'm happy to walk up first.
And I'll sing right behind you. So I will strum the guitar as we walk. So I will show that we are
Friendly.
ready to party. Like
Yes.
it's a verb.
Strangers, welcome, says the Vistani that is standing here. Strangers, welcome. Come in. Hey, friends. We have a guest for the night. You will seek shelter with us, no? We are but friends of yours here on the shores of the Tser. Your overnight stay will be welcome with wine and stories, but your cost will be a story from yourselves. Are you open to such a challenge? As to who can tell the best story? And I see a Vistani. Come, let them come in. Come in, says another Vistani from below, near the fire. He stands up now. Welcome. Ignore my friend. Come, you must stay here with us. The afternoon is late. It is dangerous on the roads of Barovia at night. Come to our fire. What do you guys do?
Can we investigate to make sure they're not vampires?
How would you like to do that?
Right. Well, I can do a dice roll, because I have +8 investigation. But
I can actually help with that if I recall correctly, but you have to ask nicely.
Please.
So my favourite enemy is the undead. And I can spend a hunter's sense. So I can only do it once per long rest, but learn whether there are any creatures within the immediate vicinity, and what vulnerabilities, etc., they have. Or I can use my prime.
Is that what it is?
Well, hunter's sense is any. I can also use primeval awareness and determine whether there's any aberrations, celestials, and undead within 1 mile.
Is this what
What's
you
not
do?
to love? Yes.
What's the casting time on that?
Primeval awareness is just an action.
Okay. Is there any kind of DC check or anything like that?
No. Hang on.
While Ludicrous is sorting himself out, ready to do some sort of funky shit. What the rest of you are doing is the Vistani, come in! You must come and join us!
So I've just I've given, by doing that playing, my bardic inspiration maybe might help Ludicrous.
It sure could.
Not needed.
Okay, alright.
So you can expend 1
An
ranger's
inspiration
spell slot
die.
to focus your awareness on the region around you. Okay, so it costs a spell slot. I'm happy with that. So for 1 minute per level of spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you. You get a distant feeling that there is something undead.
Super.
A distant feeling. It's not close.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
So I convey that to the group.
Come in. You must not spend the night on the roads here. It's dangerous. Come. You wait too long. Why are you thinking? You should just come. Suddenly, someone from behind, so the first guy was talking to you, then the second guy took over. The first guy's wandered back to the fire. Now, from the fire, a larger third person approaches. It was fated you would visit our humble camp. Madam Eva foretold your coming, Lord Ludicrous and Lord Benton. Welcome, you and your friends. Ringo, Lady Rach, Nix, and Fury.
That's unnerving. We didn't introduce
Please.
ourselves.
Follow me. Madam Eva is awaiting you.
Ooh.
So this guy here is the guy who's now standing there and has just said that.
We would definitely like to meet Madam Eva.
How is it you know our names?
I have no idea. Madam Eva has told me your names. She is expecting you, for it is foretold that you shall come. Please,
Let us go then.
follow me. Okay, so he asks you to come into the Tser camp. He brings you down.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's you.
As you approach,
Ooh.
a woman is standing outside. A tent, a rather large tent. She goes, welcome. I have been awaiting you. I am very glad that you have decided to come this way. Please join me in my tent. Satar, bring wine. And the gentleman who escorted you to her turns and goes, as you wish, madam. And disappears. Asking if you're comfortable to enter her tent. Madam Eva invites you to come in. Do you enter?
Come in. Yep.
Should we? So we've checked that there's no undead, but should we do just any other check just to make sure it's safe?
There probably is undead around, like he said.
I think that was distant, which could be just detecting
Distant.
crowd.
Yeah. Hi, Truster. Ludicrous walks forward. She knows my name.
Cool. Yep. She's expecting us. I'm walking in.
Okay, so you enter the tent. There's magic flames casting a reddish glow over the interior of this tent.
Wicked.
Lord Benton, you sense the arcane nature of it immediately. In the middle reveals a low table covered in black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure now peers into its depths, that being the lady who asks you to enter. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weed. It's so good that you've come. Let me give you a reading, shall I?
A really good old crone, don't just say.
Really good.
Yeah, I do old crones well. Let me
Ladder will get you everywhere, Lord Benton.
let me see what
So
the
charming.
fortunes of Ravenloft have for ye. And she brings up a deck of cards, and she shuffles such.
A deck of many
A
things.
deck of cards. She joins first. One for you, Ludicrous. Let me just.
Kind of disappeared.
Yeah, that's okay. Just don't get technical on me. Choose background effect. Remove background effect so that perhaps you can see the card itself here now.
Pixelated bukake.
But it says all the same in my rather expensive new. It is the 9 of something. It's the miser.
Ooh.
How did you spell that?
M-I-S-E-R. Miser.
Miser.
Like
Cheapskate.
This is correct.
Cheapskate.
is it? Oh god, someone's a fancy person with their degree.
I like my words. It's like something to do with this degree.
I'm
Is that who I'm dating? Or is that who I am?
Ludicrous is suddenly hit by something from beyond the shadows of his room. Tser Miser. She consults her. Right, excellent. That seems to be missing. This is not good. There was a miser. A miser. Nobody panic. Miser will be found. Ah! The 9 of coins, she says. For you, I see hoarded wealth. Those who irreversibly are unhappy, or who think money is meaningless. Ha! For you now, my dear. She turns to you in fury. Say when.
Sisyphus.
Okay. It's the monk.
Ooh.
She pauses. The one of glyphs, she says. Serenity. Inner strength. And self-reliance, supreme confidence, bereft of arrogance. Now, for this is not what we are here. Are there any of you others that wish to have your individual fortune told before?
Me.
Lord Benson, she goes, without being introduced. Tell
Oh dear.
He doesn't want any more of your pies, by the way.
Shall we go, oh dear?
Missy.
It is. Guild member.
That's rich.
Coins. 5 of coins. A guild member. Like-minded individuals join together in a common goal. Pride in one's work.
It's like she knows us.
Clearly she got that wrong for you. Right. Nix, my dear, you have travelled so far. Say, when shall I draw a card?
Now.
Four of stars.
Woo!
The Abjurer. Those guided by logic and reasoning, warns of an overlooked clue or piece of information.
Something overlooked. So glad I came here to have my fortune read.
I think we should benefit from Ringo and Lady Rachel also having their fortunes read.
Yeah.
If we're okay with that. If the hat could be on Ludicrous and Lady Rach.
The Shepherd.
Me next.
The Four of Glyphs. This is Lady Rach. Those who protect others. One who bears a burden far too great to be shouldered alone. And finally, Ringo.
You are the shepherd.
Don John.
John Juan? Like the is it Don Juan or Don John?
Yeah, well, Don John. Don Juan.
Don Juan, the seducer.
Maybe. That's
He's a hot monk.
I'm a monk. I'm a monk.
That's a high deck. Should not be here. High deck. That is interesting. The high deck should not be here. Isolation and imprisonment. Being so conservative and thinking as to be a prisoner of one's own. Ringo. Sit, all of ye, for I have waited so long. I begin tonight. As the evening cascades around you, it suddenly seems as if it's much darker than perhaps it is. Something certainly what's occurring. She picks and lifts towards her deck. She brings the cards forth and shuffles. All of ye have travelled from afar. This is the 6 of coins. The beggar. A wounded elf has what you once possessed and now seek. He will part with this treasure to see his dark dreams fulfilled. She reaches back to the deck and shuffles. The 3 of coins. The trader. Look to the Wizard of Wines, for in the sand is the treasure hidden.
We've heard of the Wizard of Wines before.
She takes a visible, absolute visible gasp as she pulls out the 8 of glyphs, the bishop. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. What he seeks lies in a pile of treasure, beyond a set of amber doors. The mists. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against the darkness of this land. A Vistani wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at St. Markovia's Abbey, near the mists. Finally, I make one last fortuitous fortune-seeking card drawing action, which is the broken one. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all. Rest now tonight, and continue your journey in the morning. She packs her cards up.
Thanks, Madam
Now-
Eva.
Thank you, Madam Eva. Why did you not tell us this when we bought the pies from you last time and save us all this trouble to come and walk to you? He's like, what's all this about?
I don't think Madam Eva was manning the car.
Yeah, I think that was an old lady
Oh, I
manning
thought it was the
cars.
same one. Sorry.
She told us to go see Madam Eva.
Oh,
And
I
we were
thought it
like,
was the same person. Okay, got it.
oh.
So the Wizard of Wines is 50 bottles. Krezik and says
Please,
Sariva
please.
needs his wines.
Please, I have given you a fortune. I must rest now. Please leave my tent. Have your discussion. Don't drink. My people will give you some wine, but listen to my words, for they are important for you all. We have waited.
Thank you, Madam
We have
Eva.
waited
Yeah.
a long time. Many lifetimes have passed as we await your arrival. Do not waste the information I have given you all. Now fuck off out of my tent.
Let's go find some wine.
Let's be getting on that and let me sing some songs. Good
Sit around
times,
that
everyone.
campfire.
Kumbaya, my love. Kumbaya.
The Wizard of Wines is in Kresik.
That's what I had to Kresik visit him and say Sariva needs his wines. Apparently the wine's not the best, but anyway.
No, we just got given cheap wine last night.
Cheap wine.
Doesn't matter. As long as you don't care about the standard, you can still enjoy it. So let's just go and enjoy that wine and sing some songs by the campfire for now.
And at some point, do we want to find the elf that has our stuff?
So it was stated that a wounded elf has held what we once had. It didn't say all of our stuff. Just something.
We could just leave all that old stuff behind and buy new stuff.
There's no replacing Bitey.
It's Bitey.
You don't know Bitey.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I don't know Bitey. I just heard tell of Bitey when you were randomly talking about him while we were walking through the village.
In my sleep.
Cool, so we go sit by the campfire, play some songs, and drink some wine.
Times, everyone.
Ludicrous characteristically sits in the corner, drinks wine, and smokes.
Nice.
Brooding.
As you linger by the fire, one of the Vistati recounts the following tale. Welcome, have some wine, and he hands you a flask of wine each. Madam Eva said you are to welcome to our wine tonight at no cost, but we must have a story from one of you. I tell you my story now, he says, and he draws you in towards the fire. A mighty wizard came to this land. A year ago now, I know it well. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you stand today. A very charismatic man indeed he was. He thought he could rally our people of Barovia against the Devil's Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasants' army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire, they cast spells at each other. I can see it from here up in the sky. The battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes, I tell you. Thunder shook the mountainside and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard and again he stood his ground. But when the Devil's Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic could not save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, because you'll search the bodies. I know, you nicks. To see if you know, anything of value in their pockets and stuff, But the river had already spirited him away. I find nothing. Now, tell me a story in exchange, and I shall give you some more wine. You have nothing? All of you?
I have a story.
Ooh.
So
Really
there
great.
once was a beautiful cat called Boots.
Bootsy alive.
He was the best cat that ever lived. And he died heroically fighting some undead monsters. And hopefully we'll find a Boots replacement at some village.
Somewhere, sometime,
Somewhere.
over a rainbow.
Allow me to tell you of the valor of Lord Ludicrous.
Hey, that was the valor of Boots, mate.
That's a beautiful story.
During our final throes on our last quest, sir, Lord Ludicrous burst through a door and came head to head with a man by the name of Gastellian. If you pictured evil incarnate, you would see this man's face. Brandishing a sword of unmeasurable power, he thrust, he threw, he slew towards me, and was struck down by my might and my vigor.
Wait, who got the sword originally?
And then this sword was claimed by that man, nigh claimed by me.
This is a wonderful set of stories. You have done great for us. Come, we celebrate, we drink wine, we tell more stories. For sure. It has been wonderful to meet you. The mood changes and the Vistani begin to embrace you after your story. The fire stark against the evening as it begins to fall and darkness comes. Madame Eva's tent's lights suddenly extinguish during the night. The Vistani themselves are chuckling, giggling and laughing. Ireena suddenly is sitting next to you, Lord Benton. In the confusion you've lost track, but here she is now, next to you. The Vistani are telling great galish and wonderful stories. There's music, there's accordions. She turns to you and she goes, what happened in the tent?
What happened in the what?
In the tent.
No, it's private between me and my medium. I was offended.
What happens in the tent stays.
Did the old crone tell you anything about your futures?
Well, she told me much about my future, but I don't know that it's any of your business. It's between me and my future self.
I see.
But I mean, Coin has loosened my tongue in the past, if you are that curious.
Perhaps. And she reaches and she suddenly goes white. And she looks around. And she leans into you and she goes, I do not trust these Vistani. I have lost my coin purse. It is certain that they've stolen it from me whilst you were in the tent and I was mingling with them.
I turn to her and I look disgusted and I go, that is racial profiling. What have you got against Vistani?
The Wizards of the
And
Coast will
why
fix
are
this
you
in the
so
next...
narrow-minded?
Lady Rachel may be thinking some, be regretting what she might have been doing earlier.
I don't think Lady Rachel regrets.
I really don't think you do.
There's very little regret. There's no regret emanating in the room whatsoever.
I don't think it would even register with her. She'd be like, those fucking Vistani. Can't trust them. I personally think they're a lovely and welcoming folk. Yes, they're tree and country, but I mean, what do you expect from rural people?
Well, Ludicrous is getting properly liquored with them as we speak.
Well, I think, they're hospitable enough.
I'm also enjoying
What did they do?
There's Fury. Fury's all about this. This is like good times, everyone.
What did they ever do to you?
Apparently stole her coin purse.
Yeah,
We'll look after
apart
Ireena.
from
We already
clearly
promised
the
we'd look
only
after her.
rational explanation for why your coin purse is missing. What else have they done to you?
So in Facebook Messenger, you have the essence of the reading provided for your more accurate recollections.
Oh, I wrote it down and everything. Okay.
Same.
What's that? Sorry?
Cool.
Did that not come through?
No, it came through. I was busily typing the whole time.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good D&Ding. That serves you. That you might get an inspiration.
Look at that.
Look at
Longhand
that. You
and
might get an
everything
inspiration
from Nick.
point for that, Kelly, because I did see you writing
Nice
away.
one.
Yay!
But due to the criticality of it and my experience playing with some of you over 4 years, Kelly, if I don't actually fucking spell it out, you blokes will just ignore it and take an extra 2 years to solve the very simple problem. Anyway, so having learned from that,
Where's the guild master in that?
what?
Didn't I get? The
Yeah, that was
guild
your
master?
individual reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't
okay,
recorded
cool.
that.
Ah, okay.
That's the group reading. That's the last reading she did.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Your individual ones you had to take your own
That was
notes
the
for.
important one.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I can go
We
and
took
find
your
the
notes.
guild master if you wish, and send it to you in a
Oh,
private
that's okay.
packaged letter with some sort of wax seal,
I can do that.
and you'll be confused as to what I actually sealed it with, but it'll take you some time. Oh, there we go. The Vistani party continually into the night. Do any of you wish to engage in any form of conversation with them?
I'm gonna have to drop off because I've got a thing at 9:30 that I booked. I thought we'd finished earlier, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
We're about to
You were
finish up
UK
anyway
call.
tonight.
Sorry.
We're just finishing in the
Oh, thank
Vistani
you.
camp.
I engage in a drunken conversation.
I engaged in a conversation that isn't racially charged.
So one of them says to
Feel
you,
comfortable with that.
Ludicrous, that the old Savalik road which you've been on passes through Strahd's domain. 3 settlements line the road. Like beads on a string, Krezik to the west, Valaki in the heart of the valley, and Barovia to the east. But be warned, Strahd has his spies in every settlement. To you, Lord Benton, it is said that some Vistani women are blessed with prescience. Of all the great Vistani fortune tellers, none compare to Madame Eva. If knowledge of the future is what you seek, Madame Eva will tell you your fate. And to you, Nix, a man sidles up to you and he says, "You are a fine woman. It is wise to stick to the road here. There are wild druids, wayward ghosts, and packs of wolves and werewolves that haunt the Savalik woods. Stick to the road. Do not go upon the road." I'm in tent number 32. I'll see you later. Yeah. To Fury.
32, you say?
Fury. Barovians, they're simple people. Ha! You are on the right journey to Valaki, but Barovians, simple people, frightened people. Some have old souls, they're old souls. They come, they go, they come, they go, they come, they go, but there are many soulless ones here. They are easy to spot, for they know nothing but fear. They have no charm, no hope, no spark. They have no soul. They don't cry. They are husks of humanity, and you should be aware, not everyone here has a soul. Lady Rach.
Yes.
Speaking to a strapping Vistani gentleman at night. Wow!
The ghost of Boots declares,
Strahd conquered this land centuries ago, and he named it after his father, King Barov. He uses the wolves, the bats, and other creatures to spy on all his realm. Your passage here is not by accident. Strahd will toy with you like a cat toys with some wool. Enjoy your time in here. I have seen many of you pass. Some of you have passed again, but never. Your souls remain tormented in the village of Barovia on the midnight march. Ha! This I've seen my own eyes. At the church, at midnight, you all rise and march to Strahd's castle. Ever in his service. He spits and departs. And with that, we shall call it an evening. Thank you all for participating. 2 weeks' time,
Nice.
we
Thank
shall play
you.
again.
Thank you, Doug. Cool.
Very good.
Good game.
Great. Fare thee well. See you in a fortnight.
See
Thanks,
you
guys.
later.
See you guys.